Hello, so this is video number 2, and what we're going to talk about here is how to run the waypoint and what to expect as you run the waypoint. I have put in some safety features, and I want to go ahead and kind of explain those as the drone goes. The first thing to do is you can go back into preferences, and if you want to change some of these, you can go ahead and change it for this particular flight. It's the idea that in general, though, most people will want to kind of set these once for all of their flights as far as the preferences are concerned. So I'm just going to leave those as it is. I'm going to go to the first mission, which is RC field number 1. It says it passes the checks on there. One thing I did want to mention, there is the button in the top left that will swap out the video. It makes it larger and smaller. This is the only screen that I do this swapping out. It doesn't do, I have not included it on any other screen. So I wanted to go over that. And then the other one is the button on the bottom right. This shows the pictures. And so we already have some pictures that I put in here. And what I'm going to do right now is to delete these pictures. These are pictures that I did from my home for testing. And we'll just go ahead and delete those out for right now. And what I'm doing now is this is actually retrieving the photos from the drone and deleting them out on the drone. The SD card on the drone. Okay, so we're kind of ready to go. One of the things I did want to do before we start is to take a look at the mission map just to make sure all the waypoints are started. So we have the home point, we have the drone, and then we have the waypoint missions 1 through 6, and the blue dot is myself. And so we are ready to go. So we're going to go ahead and start. And initially we're going to have the drone take off. And I've programmed this in to have the drone take off and then wait for a bit because it actually resets the home point as soon as it takes off. And now it's going to hover at 12 feet. And that's done on purpose. Now we're going to the return to home height. And so as opposed to running a regular waypoint mission with DJI drones, I'm actually doing a lot of this manually. And so going to the 66 feet above the home point is on purpose. And so we're going to go ahead, and now we're headed off to starting the mission. We're going to waypoint number 1. When it goes between waypoints, it will actually point the drone at the direction that it wants to go to. And one last thing. When it says it's starting the mission, it's now going and uploading the mission. So there it goes to waypoint number 1. It's now descending. It goes ahead and descends. It turns the gimbal down, sets the focus, and it's taking the picture at waypoint number 1. Then it's going to waypoint number 2, which is on the other side. And it points the direction of the drone to go to waypoint number 2. And then as soon as it gets there, it turns, it lowers the gimbal at the right place, sets the focus, and it goes to waypoint number 2. Then it turns to go to waypoint number 3, off it goes, and it's going to go over to the blackberry bushes. And getting close to those blackberry bushes. And it sets the gimbal correctly. And it takes the pictures of the blackberries for waypoint number 3. Then it goes to waypoint number 4. And it sets the gimbal correctly. And it's took waypoint picture number 4. I don't think I changed the gimbal setting between waypoint number 3 or 4. Now it's coming back to take the last 2 waypoints. And this is the RC field structure that we have set up here. And so it's coming back across the field. And that's right. And if you want to, you can go ahead and make the video larger or smaller with the button in the left-hand side. Again, this is the only screen that does on. And so it comes over to the structure. And then it turns, it sets the gimbal setting, and it takes the picture for waypoint number 5. And now it's going to waypoint number 6. And it'll go ahead and turn. And we can also check our progress on the map here. So we're right around waypoint number 6. The drone is actually behind the waypoint number 6 marker right now. So it goes. Now as soon as it's all completed, the photos are completed, the waypoint mission is completed, it now ascends to 66 feet again, which is my return home return to home point. And it will go back to the home point now before it lands. And this is done on purpose. And it doesn't make a difference how close it is to the home point. It will always ascend after the last home point to the return to home height, which on mine is 66 feet. So even if you were to put a waypoint right next to the home point, it will still do this behavior. And they do this just to make sure that the drone will clear all the objects on the way to home, as well as there's a default setting within DJI that it will not return to home when the last waypoint is too close to the home point, and it will actually land where it is within 30 feet. And I wanted to avoid that. And so that's one last thing to do. So we've gone through, we've done our waypoints, it's coming back to home, and let's go ahead and take a look at the photos. You hit in the lower right hand side, it will go ahead and retrieve all those photos. So we can go ahead and take them, and there they are. And if we want to, we can review them. And so we can see them in nice full color. And there we go. Okay, and that's the picture. I'm going to go ahead and go back to the main screen. But that's how the program is really meant to function. Let me feel free to give me some feedback on how I can improve it. But in general, this is how it was designed to operate.